What's up, y'all? What's good? Welcome back to the Straight Facts Unmatched Experience. If you are new, I would just like to say welcome. I do appreciate you for hitting that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell and make sure it's set to all so that you'll know the next time that I do upload another video. So let's go. So let's go ahead and talk about Jasmine, Aiden, and Philip. Okay. So Aiden started school and he was having issues with school. Okay. So he had been having problems, I guess, towards the end of the day. That's what Philip was saying. Like towards the end of the day, he was having issues, and they were having to go pick him up and all of that type of stuff, whatever the case may be. So, like I said before, I don't know why she thought that going to school was going to be any different from a child being in daycare. For the simple fact that, if these people don't know how to deal with these kids in the proper way, then they're not going to be able to accommodate them with all of their needs. As the parent, if you're not being vocal about what it is that's going on, then I don't know how you expect for somebody to be able to help your child. You cannot expect for the child to interrupt or disrupt the classroom when there's other children that needs to be tended to as well. If that child has some type of issues, you have to address those things with a pediatrician. There's no reason why you should feel like you shouldn't tell the pediatrician that your child is struggling in this area or that area. It's only beneficial for them. It's not beneficial when you don't seek help for them and get them the help that they need in order to thrive. If you feel like your child is having behavioral issues, you as the parent need to speak up and say something about those behavioral issues. If you don't feel like nobody needs to tell you about what your child needs and you feel like, okay, well, I see that he struggles in this area. This might be an issue in school. So let me see to it that I talk to a behavioral therapist. Let them evaluate him and see if this is something that he may need moving forward, or if I need to find a different way, or whatever the case may be. Not all the time do parents want to put their children on medication. It's not about what you want to do. It's about your child's safety. It's important that you keep your child safe. So that means that if your child has ADHD and that child needs to take some type of medication or whatever the case may be, then that's something that you need to look off into, whether you feel like, okay, I don't want nothing medicating my child. I don't want nothing having my child be a zombie, or, I don't want to take away from them. I had all of those things run through my mind when it came to my son, but I also seen how wild my son is and I see how wild he is and how wild he was. So why would I be in denial about my son receiving some type of medication when I know for a fact that this medication could possibly help him? If he doesn't receive the medication, then it's going to be a hindrance for him, and not only for him, it's going to be one for me, as far as me having to go back and forth to the schoolhouse because he's not medicated, and I already know that he's wild and his attention span is very, very short. So therefore, if I know that, then I have to get him some type of help, and that means if that's some medication, then so be it. You cannot have your child walking around here needing medication or needing something to keep them calm in order to have a normal life. You can't keep that. You shouldn't keep that from them. If that's something that's going to help them with their everyday life, then that's something that you should want to look off into, even if that's not the first thing that you decide to go for. If you want to try different avenues before you decide medication, then okay, cool, because sometimes other methods can work before you decide to do medication. You want to exhaust everything out before you decide, okay, this is something. You want to exhaust every situation out before you decide that you want to put your child on medication. I understand that. I can dig that. But at the same time, it's like, okay, if you want your child to be around people of his peers, then you have to understand the hitting, the kicking, the biting, the screaming, and all of that, that's not going to be tolerated. And if he's going to be that way, then he has to be in a different type of setting to where it accommodates him for his behavior and his needs. That's all there is to it. It's nothing to be in denial about. It's nothing to be ashamed about. These are your children. If your children are struggling, you see to it that they get the help that they need. You don't wait until the last minute. You shouldn't have to be forced or told what to do as a parent when it comes to your children that you're with 24/7. If you already see things wrong with them, then you as a parent supposed to point it out when you go to the doctor. Talk to the pediatrician so they can help you and point you into the direction that you need to go in order to help your child. But if you choose to turn a blind eye to certain things and say, oh, they're just going to grow out of it, or try to use the method of trying to put fear in your child's heart by saying, hey, you better not go to school acting like this, and you better not go, if you do, if you get home, I'm going to do this. Like, stop trying to scare him. That's what I've been noticing. I've been noticing the way that they trying to discipline him by trying to keep him from being the way that he is in school is by trying to put fear in him. That's something that you don't want to do, is try to put fear in him by telling him that if he doesn't act a certain way at school, when he gets home, he's going to get a whooping. If anything, that's going to make him want to act out even more, and that is going to cause him to act out more for the simple fact is that he already knows that there's somebody telling him that if you don't act a certain way, you're going to get a whooping. So I'm just like, it's like mind control. Don't do that. It's uncalled for. Y'all already know what the situation is or what the deal is. Been knowing it from the gate, Jasmine. So with that being said, if you've been knowing that your son has been having these type of behaviors, this behavior should have been addressed a long time ago. You don't want to wait until the last minute to where he's in school now, and now he's having to be called out because he's not able to stay there for a whole entire day because of the things that you did not do as a parent. To say, oh, I don't want him on medication, talking about Philip. To say that Philip say he don't want him on medication when Philip haven't been out long enough to try to make any type of decisions in regards to that boy's behavior because he don't know the ins and outs of that boy's behavior. He's only in passing with him, meaning that he only gets him on the weekends for a few days or something like that. He's not with him 24/7 to see all of the behaviors that this boy has to display. He has not seen all of that. So where you're in passing with your children, you only get just a little bit of them. You ain't getting the whole full spill of them as to what Jasmine have been seeing and what she's been experiencing and what she has not been talking about when she goes to the doctor, to the pediatrician. She ain't been telling them, okay, my child has been doing this and he ain't been doing that, or I'm worried about this, I have concerns about that. So therefore, if you don't care about your child, nobody else is. It's up to you to advocate for your children. And if you don't advocate for them, then nobody else will. It's up to you to speak up and say something if you see something. And if you don't, then that's on you. That falls back on you to where you have to get up and keep going to go pick them up from school and having to deal with all of these different people that you don't want to have to deal with, which you should want to deal with if they have anything to do with your child. I mean, I'm just saying. To say that, oh, I'm in a group chat with the principal, the assistant, and the counselor, and his teacher. Like, girl, majority of the parents that have children there are connected to all of those people that you named. You talking about you have a team of people. A team of people meaning that he would have an IEP of 504 plan. I have a team that works with my son. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. I'm glad, I don't know how they were able to come up with this behavioral therapist or whatever, but I'm glad that he has one now. I'm glad that he's going to be seeing one. That will be great for him. And I hope that it does work out for him to where if they don't want him on medication, that it does work out to where he does not have to be on medication. But some things can be go on for so long to the point to where, you know what I'm saying, it's going to take a lot of hard work to get him back to where he needs to be because he has been severely neglected by his mother. His needs have not been met. So therefore, it's like it's going to take somebody that's just seeing him for 15 to 30 minutes it's going to really take them some time and some consistency to get him to where he needs to be, you know, and that's just what it is, you know. Don't act like you didn't know that this was something that had been going on. This is something that you've been knowing about. These are the behaviors that he's been displaying. He's been popping upside her face every chance that he gets. When he gets in his feelings and get upset, he's been having meltdowns and all of that type of stuff. She having those damn LED lights flicking on and off in that damn bedroom is another issue why he having problems. And then not only that, he had a metabolic disorder when he was younger that was never checked out like it was supposed to, because she let her tell it. She says that him and Ava has grown out of the metabolic disorder syndrome thing that they were in, which I think is a bunch of bullshit. I don't believe that she ever took them back to the doctor to get them checkups, or she has been truthful as to if they've been having any type of problems or anything like that. So therefore, that causes delays and some more shit. But she's not going to say nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? Because she doesn't want to deal with it. But those kids had issues at birth that she never really addressed like that due to the fact that she don't take her kids to the doctor like she's supposed to. She said that she does, but no, she don't take them like she's supposed to. Because if she did, then there are certain things that would have been addressed a long time ago. But then again, we're talking about Jasmine. She's not going to address shit that she don't want to have to deal with. Meaning that if it's going to have to do anything with taking time out of her day to where she can't find out where Hips is at, she can't see where he's at, she can't be clocking him, she's not going to take no time from what she got going on when it comes to him. She's going to make sure that she keeps her time all available for Chris and nothing else, nothing more. When it comes to therapy for those kids, she gonna say F those kids, and she gonna keep on going about her day because that's how she really feels, and that's just really what it is. So if you say you don't want your kid on medication, then it's best that you sit there and do what you're supposed to do as a parent and get them what they need so that they can thrive. And if he has a behavioral therapist, that's a blessing, because he definitely does need one, and hopefully the behavioral therapist is able to get him under control to where he's able to go to school a whole day instead of half a day, and she won't have to worry about that. But anytime you have people that are trying to intimidate a child, that's not ever a good thing. So trying to have him in fear by saying if he doesn't act a certain way, you're going to whoop his ass when he gets home, it's not going to help him any. If anything, if you see that he has behavior issues, it's time to correct those behavior issues, redirect his little ass, and sit down and give him some type of attention, so therefore he won't feel like he have to act out for it. That's all there is to it.